If you're planning a trip to the Greek islands, it can be a little overwhelming to pick which island you want to go to. There's over 227 inhabited islands, and then they estimate there's close to 6,000 islands in total. So, which ones would be best for a traveler who's over 50? I'm going to compare two islands that are really close together, so you may be looking at both of them. One is Paros and one is Naxos. Both of these are stunning and really can give you enough to do for a week or maybe even a lifetime. Let's start with Paros. It's nestled in the heart of the Cyclades and it's known for its picturesque villages and its whitewashed buildings with the blue shutters. Perfect for Instagram pictures. And they have golden, sandy beaches. They also have really rocky beaches that just plunge into the Aegean Sea with those beautiful, beautiful turquoise waters that you see in these amazing videos. They also have really rocky beaches that just plunge in. Now, Naxos is the largest island in the island chain of the Cycladic Islands, which Paros is also in. It's a little bit different. It has more of a lush, fertile landscape and mountains. Its coastline has a lot of long sandy beaches, so they're perfect to walk on. Or you can go into the interior of the island and see some of the really charming villages where the traditional stone houses are, and there's a lot of really quaint tavernas and little restaurants that will welcome you in as a visitor. With such diverse islands, let's go over a few more of the details and points of interest to help you decide which one of these islands would be the best decision for you on your trip. We are going to look at 7 different things to help you make the decision. First, we're going to look at the overall size of the islands, the points of interest, why you would even want to go there, what the historical significance of the islands are, how easy it's going to be for you to get around and the transportation options, as well as just the general overall cost to visit that island, as well as how popular the island is with tourists and what the island is best for. So, how big are these two islands? Paros is about 75 square miles or 194 square kilometers. Naxos is more than twice as large at 166 square miles or 430 square kilometers. So, why would you want to go and what is the general vibe of the islands? We're going to start with Paros. When you come into Paros from the port, you do enter in a nice, cute little area, but the area you really want to probably spend most of your time in is to the left of where the port is in a town called Nassau. This town has beautiful, picturesque streets, whitewashed buildings, all those blue dome churches, and all those beautiful doors that make such great photographs and are just beautiful to see. It has a harbor there, and it really has a lot of nightlife and things to do. It also has an amazing golden beach, and then there's a lot of other traditional villages there on the island of Paros. We visited Lefkas, and we thought it was really interesting. It was so cute and quaint. Everything is painted white. There's all these alleyways. And to be honest with you, we went in pretty much peak summer season, and there was almost no other tourist around while we were there that day. I'm sure it gets a little more crowded around the evening dinner time, but in the middle of the day, we pretty much had the place to ourselves. Now, another thing you might want to do when you're in Paros is take the 30-minute little ferry ride over to a tiny little island called Anti-Paros. This island is so quaint, and right where the ferry drops you off is one of the best areas. Lots of shopping, lots of tourist things that you might want to see as far as little shops and places to eat. You can buy fruits, vegetables, all the local handicrafts. We found this was a great place to go also for a lunch because you're right there on the water and it was gorgeous. Another thing you can do while you're in Paros is you can hike the Byzantine Road or the Byzantine Trail. This has got some beautiful scenic views. We actually did not do this while we were there. Kind of wish we had. It's right near that little village of Lefkas, and they have the signs well marked for you to get on that trail and take a little trip. Another thing Paros is known for is all of their water sports, of course, because it's an island. So they have a lot of windsurfing, kite surfing, and if you just wander around and look at the different beaches, you'll see that they have a lot of things that you can do and play with while you're there. As far as the local food, if you go to Nassau Harbor, you're going to get a lot of really traditional Greek dishes that are seafood based. The food is fabulous. There's a lot of little tavernas and local wineries right in that area. And if you plan your trip at the right time of day, you can watch a fabulous sunset. So, what are the top things you might want to do if you visit Naxos? Well, as you come in from your ferry, you are going to see the Temple of Apollo. You cannot miss it. This is the iconic landmark of Naxos. And as you can imagine, at sunset, you can get some amazing photographs here as well as just enjoy a beautiful sunset. Now, Naxos town, which is very close to this Temple of Apollo, you can just walk there. It's got a lot of restaurants right near the port. You can't really see the water from the restaurants as well as you think you would because there's a street that goes right in front of you that's kind of busy, but it's still a really charming area, a lot of places to eat and get something to drink. And they also have a fabulous beach called Plaka Beach. And we went here and you can sit on the beach and order drinks and get some food and just really enjoy your day. It was very peaceful, very local. It wasn't a loud, crazy beach. It was kind of a calm beach, but there were a lot of people there enjoying the beach as well as they have all the chairs and umbrellas for you. Now, there's also a lot of villages on this island. We went to a couple of the villages. There is one village called the Halki village or Chalky, you may see it pronounced or spelled. It is such a cute little charming village. It's a great place to go for lunch. And they have this liquor called Citron that is only made on that island. And the Citron factory is there, and you can take a little tour, but don't get your hopes up real big on this tour. You're basically just gonna walk in and see where the old factory was, see some antique stuff. They're not really gonna interact with you much while you're there, but you can do a tasting while you're there, and it's really I thought it was a great tasting little liqueur. And there's also the Naxos Archaeological Museum, which we found really interesting. It's a really steep walk up, a hill, a lot of hills through the alleyways, but the view from up there is fabulous, and the whole vibe up there was just a really nice area. We enjoyed that area. Now you can also take a boat ride and go see some of the caves that surround Naxos. One of the most famous is the Rena Cave. You can actually take a kayak in or go swim and snorkel in. As with any place in Greece, there is a lot of history as well as a lot of mythology. In Paros, you can see the ancient marble quarries, and you can even drive by and see where they're still getting marble slabs out of those quarries, as well as you'll see a lot of Byzantine churches. In Naxos, that is the mythical birthplace of Zeus. So, this is the center of power in the olden antiquity mythology days. Transportation options and the ease of getting around. Both islands have really good ferry connections from Santorini, Mykonos, and some of the other islands, as well as both islands also have a very small airport. Um, they also are walkable when you're in the downtown main areas. When you're in uh, Paros, the main area is right there by the port. When you're in Naxos, the main area is right there by the port. And when you're in Paros, the main area is going to be a little farther away from the port. Now, both of these islands, we rented a car and drove. If you're going to do that, I'm going to tell you some of the roads are really small on both these islands. So you want to get the smallest car that can hold your group because some of these roads are just one lane. And I don't mean one lane going each way, I mean one lane. And you may have to pull over at points and let people pass you, or you may have to put it in reverse so they can get by you. Um, Also, we found that the GPS did give good information on how to get to certain towns. But once you got into the towns, the smaller towns, it wasn't so good at giving you exact details. Matter of fact, it tried to get me to drive down the main street in the little town of Chalky on Naxos, which is totally not allowed. It is a pedestrian street. So be really careful when you're following your GPS when you get to this really, detailed part of the smaller towns. So we got the car just because we were only on these islands for 3 or 4 days and we really wanted to maximize our time there and see as much as we could. But you could do this without a car if you stay in the main areas where all the points of interest are and take maybe some public transportation, some buses, and that type of thing. Let's talk about cost. You're going to find these two islands are a lot more affordable than Santorini or Mykonos, but not as affordable as Crete. So, with an average hotel that has an ocean view and breakfast included, if you're going to go to Paros and stay in Nassau Port, that is going to be about $195 a night for two people. Now, Naxos, the same room, which would be in the port area with breakfast with an ocean view, is going to be about $150 a night for two people. For meals in Paros in the Nassau area, it's going to be about $30 to $50 for a nice dinner, and that's without wine. And in Naxos, it's going to be about $30 to $40 for a mid-range meal without wine. Let's talk about tourist popularity. Paros is popular with all ages. You'll see a lot of families there, as well as we saw a lot of older, mature travelers. Matter of fact, we had a great conversation with a woman who was from the US that had retired there. So you're not going to find a party island, so it would be a nice place to go for a vacation. Naxos is the same. They're popular with families and older travelers, and it's actually even less party centric than you're going to find on Paros. So let's recap which island would be the best for different types of travelers. We'll start with Paros. Paros is got a lot of charming villages, art, shopping, and great for food lovers. It's ideal if you're wanting to have an island that has a balance between scenic towns and good infrastructure. Naxos is going to be your island if you're a history buff, or maybe you like to hike or go to the beach and culturally explore places, as well as also it's more diverse and quite a bit larger, and it will appeal to active travelers who are over 50 who are looking for value and variety. Enjoying this comparison of Paros and Naxo, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel as I share more travel tips, advice, and great destinations.